Enzo here from Enzos Geckos. Today I wanted to do something different. I wanted to make a reaction video to some of my older videos just because there's a lot of cool behind the scenes things in some of my videos, and I can pause it and explain a couple things that I was thinking behind the scenes or what I was trying to do. But yeah, I'm just going to do a reaction video to some of my older videos and see how it goes. Maybe it could be one of my newer ones, I don't know. But anyway, let's give it a go. I might just go over the Wild Jackson's Chameleon video in Maui because this was a really cool video to film, and I've gotten a lot of comments on the video, and it's actually done pretty well. It's got like 3,000 views, but this was definitely one of my favorite ones to shoot and definitely one of my favorite ones to upload. I really want to upload more videos like this. Obviously I can't go anywhere, and even if I did, I would not be going to Maui often. But I still would absolutely love to shoot more videos of reptiles in the wild or just different reptiles. So let me know if you guys want that, because I think that'd be pretty cool. This video I also edited completely on my phone, which I'd done for a lot of my other ones, but this one I put a lot of effort into and a lot of time editing, and it's really hard to do when you're just sitting there just editing all the videos and stuff. It's kind of hard to do, editing on a phone versus editing on a computer, which is what I do now. But it was just it was such an exciting moment for me to see these chameleons in the wild. So I don't want to talk too much, so you just check it out.
Is a Jackson's chameleon in the wild? I think you can see him. We're just right here in the lavender gardens, these botanical gardens. Just looking around, probably took about 30 minutes, but there's one right here.
So really quick, it was a rainy day, it was overcast. We were like, oh, well, we're not going to go to the beach today, so we decided to drive up to the mountains a while, and we drove all the way up to the mountains and went to this botanical gardens that I looked up. I just looked up Maui Botanical Gardens because I knew that chameleons were in Maui somewhere, and I assumed botanical gardens would be the best. So I did a little bit of research, looked up some YouTube videos, read some articles online. So people said this one botanical gardens had them. So when we got there, we walked around these little rows of stuff for a while, these rows of plants and flowers and bushes and whatnot, trees, and could not find any at all. So it was kind of in the point of giving up, and there was this little sign that said hidden garden. So we just kind of walked in there, and then we just looked around for a bit, and before long this one just caught my eye, and it was just so cool.
It's a Jackson's chameleon male. You can see by the huge horns. So I'm gonna try and grab him. So here he is. We are in Hawaii. There's a wild Jackson's chameleon. These guys are actually invasive, but I'm very glad I got to see one. Usually when there's one, there's two. Yeah, Jackson's chameleon. Beautiful horns right here. I've held...
So then you can hear my brother in the background saying, Enzo, can I hold him? Because he's been as I've been collecting reptiles, and I've actually had other reptile species other than leopard geckos before, like ball pythons and stuff like that. He's been sort of kind of interested in them, not been as interested as I have in them, but he was definitely excited to see a reptile like this in the wild. You know, it's just unexplainably awesome. Like I said though, even though they are an invasive species, still finding a wild reptile like a chameleon is just mind-blowing.
Some that are actually captive bred, and their grip is not quite as strong as this guy. So, you know, he's awesome. So, little brother's gonna hold him now. He's one nice looking Jackson's chameleon. Pretty big. So, yeah.
So I said nice looking Jackson's chameleon just because he was a pretty big one. I don't know if I'd seen one that big before, but he was a little bit skinny. I mean, you know, the chameleons that you see in captivity are way different than the ones that are in the wild, no matter where they are. The ones in captivity, obviously we give them food whenever they need it, whenever we think they need it actually, because they will eat it because they're just an animal, and they're instinctually just going to eat food until they're full. So, you know, was this one healthy? Probably, but just because it was a wild chameleon, it's definitely a lot skinnier than you would see a captive chameleon. So
yeah, it took about 20 minutes. Probably, it really was not that long before we found one. So yeah.
And it was so cool because this couple was out here looking for, just looking at the botanical gardens, and we just happened to be holding it, and she was super excited to see it, and to hold this chameleon. It was just so cool, not only having this moment with holding a beautiful chameleon in the wild, but you could share it with someone who's never had that experience before and who wasn't even intending to have that experience. So that was really, really cool.
Alright, that's the video. Let me take, put it by your face, I guess.
Yeah. We're gonna keep looking for some more.
So you see how she's passing him off to me? She's just letting him crawl off onto my other hand, from her hand to my hand. So that's the way that you want to do it. You don't want to like just grab them from behind and just like pick them up. That really freaks them out. You just got to let them crawl. And if you want, you can kind of just like slip your hand under them to give them their new, you know, branches to crawl on, just because they just kind of assume that they're just crawling on these branches and the branches just keep on going and going. And the chameleon will just keep on climbing and there's more branches, so it'll keep on climbing. So you just want to, like, you know, essentially how I like to put it is you're giving it more branches. You do not want to go over them and grab them though, because that's when they feel like it's an actual predator and that's when they're going to freak out. So this was a good transfer.
Oh, he's probably loving it.
I know. This rain is great for him. Yeah. That's exactly what we're doing. It probably took 20 minutes to find him.
We're just about to get started.
So as you'll see here, this dude did exactly what I just explained is not the way to pick up a chameleon. He went from behind him and just grabbed him. So as you can see in this freeze frame, the chameleon, his mouth is open. That's a defensive position. That means like, leave me alone. So, you know, no shame towards this dude. I mean, they were looking for chameleons, so they probably should know that by now, not to hold them that way. But this is not the best way to hold a chameleon and to pick one up, just because they're not expecting you at all. And you know, it freaks them out. As you can see, he's really scared, and you can see all four of his hands are not holding onto something. So he's, not only is he being grabbed from behind, but he doesn't have anything to stand on. So when you're doing it like this and he's walking up here and you put your next hand up, he still has his tail and all of his four hands connected to your hand, so he's not worried at all. So this one right here, this guy right here, didn't do it right. I mean, I didn't say anything, but oh well.
Wow.
Where'd you find him?
He's just right there on that tree, just sitting on the branch. So there might be some more females around there or something.
Take him.
Where?
Enzo, just take it.
So this was really exciting. You can hear it in my brother's voice, how excited he was and how ready he was to go for the next chameleon, because he'd seen one really quickly. We were still holding this little guy and just having a good time with him, and Bruno all of a sudden goes like, Enzo, there's another chameleon. So he just passed him off to me, and it was pretty cool.
Where's the other one?
Take it.
Where?
It's
Are you
right-
sure?
Yeah, 100%.
Female?
No, it's male.
Where?
Look at my phone.
Oh my gosh, how did you even see that? I don't even see it right now. Hold up.
So
We actually found another one?
So he's like partly here in this freeze frame right here. He's like all the way up the very top corner. You can't see him because he's like halfway behind a leaf. But like, I don't know how Bruno saw this. This chameleon was like, he was a lot smaller and he was really well hidden.
Where is it?
Right here.
Oh wow, that one's tiny. Alright, we found number 2.
So see how Bruno does
Look at
it,
that,
how
I
he
told
puts
you
his
this
hand
spot
under
was
it.
golden.
He puts his hand under it and the chameleon just kind of like grabs onto it. So instead of like going above it, like I said, he just puts his hand under and the chameleon is fine with him picking him up.
So,
It has something on his face.
it's just a cobweb or something. So we got 2 of them. Probably took us 20 minutes, and then we already found
Enzo, I want to take a picture of
1 and 2. So 2 males. It'd be really cool if we could find a female soon. But this is chameleon weather. Once again, we're in Hawaii, looking for the cams. Already got 2 males. Maybe we'll find another. Dude, I can't believe you found that right as I started recording. You're like, oh, there's one. Look at this.
It's so cool because the Jackson's chameleons are probably my favorite chameleon species because their temperaments are so mild. They're not like overly loving, but they're not overly mean at the same time. So they will never, like, not never, of course, can't say that for any kind of animal, but it's very uncommon that they'll like actually try and bite you or try and you know, defend themselves in a way that would hurt somebody or attempt to hurt someone. They're really calm animals. So it was just so cool to be holding this chameleon and for it to just be chilling out on my arm while I am looking at it, and you can just see, like, it's just so cool to have this kind of connection with this animal. It's just something that is so special, and I really would love to do it again.
What a beautiful creature. This one's just chilling.
Like I said, they just chill. They just totally chill in your arms. Just kind of look around, chill, and something about them is just so cool.
Number 3, got a female way up in the tree right here. A little bit hard to see her. She's right there though, just grasping to that branch while it's windy.
So we'd already seen the 2 males and we were like, all right, there's got to be a female somewhere around here. So sure enough, this one was like probably like 10 feet up in the tree. We couldn't grab her or get too close to her, but she was just up there, and it was really cool because I'd obviously seen the males in the wild, but the sexual dimorphism between male and females, female chameleons and male chameleons, is pretty different. So they look very different. So it was just really cool to see one up there. So
Wow, these chameleons are loving it out here. This little guy fell asleep. Yup, it's hard to see, but she's up there.
So as you can see for this little one right here, that's like a total defensive thing to do, is he starts to turn dark colors, he poofs up, and he opens his mouth to make himself look bigger. So that one was just like getting kind of defensive and just like, whoa, leave me alone.
Alright, putting this guy back. First one we found, but he was just climbing here when I first got him. He hung out for a little bit and then let him go back to his home. Once again, these things are amazing animals. These are 100% wild. No one, these don't belong to anyone, they just belong to the land. So, hopefully you're gonna find some more. So far in one small area, we already found 3 males and 1 female that was way up in the tree. So, here's a female right here. Pretty common colors for a female. She's just hanging out here on the branch. Really beautiful cam right here.
So she was just like in the branches, kind of like behind this little fence. You can see right over here, there's like this little fence. But she was just back there, just hanging out, and I just like reached out my arm and let her just kind of like crawl onto it after a while. But she was pretty cool too. So I actually was able to hold a male and female chameleons because we'd already held those few males, except for that little one that got angry. But this was the first female chameleon we'd held. So yeah.
Here, female one. Don't think that she's had any babies. She's probably not big enough to breed, but just cool to finally get a female after we've found so many males. There she goes, back into the wild.
Alright guys, so that just about does it for this video. I thought the chameleon video was really cool, and just it was really cool to react to it, and that is one of my favorite videos, and I'm really glad I could go back and react to it and show you guys a little bit more about it and a little bit more in depth, because that was just such a fun video to shoot, and it just really brings me back to the moment that I was out there looking for those chameleons, rewatching it. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.